Hey everybody, just something that I forgot to mention before the video starts. It is some GTA 5 gameplay, but we will be doing story mode because when I do the online, I'm on PC, and there's a lot of modders. I get booted out pretty quickly, so. But yeah, please enjoy the video. Leave a comment if you guys have any recommendations for video games for me to play, and anything that you thought about the video. Thank you. Enjoy. Yo guys, what the fuck is going on? We got some stuff to talk about. We're coming in with another story today, but first thing that I have to dedicate a little bit of time in the beginning of this video to is how fucking crazy this first video went, you guys. We are already sitting at a staggering 10 subscribers. How are we already at 10 subs? You guys are great, and we've also got 32 views on that video, and I think we're about at 10 likes. Like, it's nothing crazy, but that's pretty fucking crazy for a first video. So I really do want to thank you guys. I appreciate all the friends, family, and a couple random people out there. I really appreciate it. I am gonna grow, get more viewers, and all that good stuff. But just know that all of you first timers are very much appreciated, and it's love. And another good thing to mention to you guys, when we hit 50 subscribers, we are going to do a $50 giveaway. That's pretty early to do something like that, but I like to give back to my community, so we'll do a wheel. We'll put all 50 subscribers' name on a wheel, we'll spin it, and whoever it hits will get $50. But, you know, no more fucking yapping. Let's get to it. So in today's story, we're going to be talking about how I took LSD with my best friend and he lost his mind. It's a pretty interesting story. I kind of wanted to hold off on this one for a little bit longer, but the poll that I put on my social medias, on my Instagram, everybody voted for the acid story. Not everybody, but it won. It definitely won. So in today's story, I didn't really think of a good name for him. We'll call him Sebastian. That's a crazy fucking name, but Sebastian will do. So it's me and Sebastian in this story, and we're both in 10th grade. We went to a high school that some of my viewers may have went to as well, but it was a pretty cool high school, no dress code, but this doesn't take place during the school day. So it starts off in the morning, and I text up Sebastian. I'm like, yo man, what are you doing? What's up this morning? You want to smoke? And he's like, I can't smoke, but you can come over, and we can go to school together. I'm like, okay, cool. He had a very strict father. He still has a strict father. He just doesn't live with him, but his father was very strict, so you know, there's nobody in the house, you know, nothing like that. If his dad's not home, there's an exception. So I come over to this guy's house, Sebastian, and we're just chopping it up before school. Like, hey, bro, you know, what classes you got today? You know, what the fuck you got going on? Not much. He's like, but you want to see something cool? I'm like, what's up, bro? What you got in the crib? What the fuck you want to show me? He's like, yo, it's my dad's gun. I'm like, show me that shit, bro. Like, I like guns. So he shows me it. And this is good, crucial information for later in the story for a reason that I was super fucking scared. He showed me how the double safeties worked. It was like a military grade pistol or something. I don't think I touched it, but he showed me how the double safeties worked. Basically, he showed me he knows how to function the gun, right? Good piece of information right there. So our day progresses. We ride our bicycles to school. We both had really fast bicycles. Just bicycles, but, you know, with the skinny wheels that would go pretty fucking quick, man. It'd get you up and out of there pretty fucking quick. So we're biking to school. Nothing crazy, nothing eventful happens. We get to school. We go about our day. I don't remember anything from the fucking school day. Nothing in the school day was important. Probably the most average day ever. So the end of the day rolls around. I get back to my house, probably smoking a blunt in the garage or something, and I'm a little bored. I can't honestly remember if I hit him up or if he hit me up, but I would always hit him up if he wanted to come smoke, or if he wanted to smoke, he'd come and hit me up. And we'd chill in my place and fucking, you know, me and this guy, Sebastian, actually got caught by his father right after fucking hotboxing one time. That will be another story. Glad I just remembered that. But, you know, I would text him or he'd text me and we'd smoke up in the garage and hang out, watch some videos, shoot the shit. Nothing crazy. So on this particular day, I think I texted him up and I'm like, yo, bro, you want to come fucking smoke? And I had this new acid. I think these were about, oh boy, these were some fucking tabs, right? They were 150 to 200 UG, and they were called Flower of the Light. You know, a couple weeks after this, I had actually just had some on hand, and I was being stupid, and I was tearing it apart, and there was like 3 layers of paper on this fucking tab. A middle one, a topper deck, and a lower deck, like a fucking cheeseburger. It was crazy. So they were able to fit so much acid on this tab. It was a stronger dose than usual. But for me, I had done it, and it was cool. And my friend Sebastian had done acid with me before. Now, he'd done gel tabs with me, but he hadn't done paper tabs. We're doing paper tabs in this story. So he comes over, we spark a blunt, and I'm like, bro, check out these tabs I got. You know, would you be down to pop one with me? And he's like, well, shit, bro, you know, fuck it. He really didn't think about it at all. He's like, I'm down. And it was around, I'd say 3:30 p.m. We got out around a little earlier in the school. I think it was around 2:30. So we pop these tabs, and I'm like, yo, you know, let's walk across the street to the fucking swing. Right across where I used to stay in this townhouse, there was like like a little retirement facility behind us, and they had like this swing that you could just walk up to, and it was at this lake that had like a water feature in the middle of a fountain. So it's some cool shit to swing and wait for the acid to hit. So we're sitting there, and we brought a joint with us, and we're smoking this fucking joint, and I start feeling this acid like pretty quick. It had only been about 30 minutes, and I'm feeling this acid. And my boy Sebastian, he's not saying much to me, right? So I'm tripping, and I'm thinking in my head like on some crazy perspective shit. I'm like, yo, Sebastian, bro, it's just fucking crazy how we're born out of nowhere, bro. Like we have to abide to this government, work a job, pay bills, like. This don't feel natural, bro. And I probably went on for about 10 minutes explaining this fucking crazy thought pattern I was having. And I look over at him, and he's looking at me right after I finished my sentence, and he goes, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? And he starts laughing. And I laugh for like 2 minutes, but this guy is just like, fucking geeking, bro. So I start getting a little scared, bro. Joke's over, it wasn't a joke. That was the crazy part. I'm like, okay, maybe I dropped a lot on him. Maybe it's funny. He continues to fucking laugh. So, I'm like, all right, this is a little concerning. Sebastian, like, you good, bro? Like, the joke's over, and he snaps out of it for a second, talks about the landscape we're looking at. It's pretty and shit. And he looks down at this fucking G-Shock, man. This G-Shock was the end of the good times. This is where it all goes downhill for me. And, I don't know how he felt about this story. We've talked about it, but it was traumatizing as fuck for me. So he had rode his bike to my house, whatever. But we were at that retirement home. So he looks down at his fucking G-Shock, and time starts collapsing on this man. That's the best way I can express it. Time starts collapsing. It was probably about 4:30 at this point. An hour had went by since we dropped and we smoked our weed. So we're pretty fucking geeked. And he looks down at this G-Shock, and he's like, man, fuck, I gotta get home. My dad. And I'm like, bro, why didn't you say anything? Like, why didn't you say you had to be somewhere? Like, you can't just stop this trip, dude. This is gonna last a good fucking minute. And unbeknownst to me, he's like, yeah, bro, I got a cat sitting job I gotta get to. Like, I gotta go to this old lady's house and cat sit her fucking cat. Excuse me, I had to sip some water. I'm like, all right, bro, so then let's go. I mean, fuck, I'm gonna take you home, obviously. I'm gonna ride with you. Like, I'm not just gonna hand you a tab of feed you a tab of LSD and then make you ride home through the neighborhood. Like, fuck that. A high dose tab of LSD at that. So we leave from the retirement home place. I don't think we stopped back by my crib. He had all his shit on him. He had his bike. We rode our bikes over to the retirement home. We didn't walk, so scratch the walk part. So we leave the retirement home, and we start biking down the sidewalk, man. And he's going fucking fast as hell, dude. Like, he's blowing stop signs. And I'm looking at him, and I'm shouting at him on my bike. I'm like, yo, Sebastian, slow the fuck down, dude. You're blowing the stop signs. You're gonna get hit. And you can only imagine the anxiety and fucking paranoia going through my body at this point in time. Because my homie, Sebastian, that I gave the acid to, is just flying down the fucking sidewalk. Like he just took the governor off his bicycle, and he could never go this fast before. If there is a such thing, or if there ever were. Like, that's how he was fucking riding this shit. So I'm stressing, bro. I'm fucking stressing. I'm like, dude, slow down. I eventually catch up to him, and I'm like, dude, get off the bike. Like, we're gonna walk, okay? We're gonna walk down this until we turn on your street. Okay, so we pass a couple streets, and I see a street, and I'm like, all right, I'm pretty sure this is Big Dog Street. I said that mentally. I'm like, all right, bro, come on, Sebastian, take a right. Let's go. So we're walking down the street, man. And I don't think we're doing much talking. It's really hot. This acid is smacking the fuck out of me. We're probably at like the hour and a half, maybe hour 15. So this acid is like hitting peak right now. Like, I'm not peaking, but it's coming up, body load, fucking heat. And at this point, I got to get the homie home. So we're halfway down this fucker's street to his house, right? I'm looking left to right. I'm seeing a couple houses. Nothing's ringing a bell. I'd been to his house 2 or 3 times before this when his dad wasn't home, and he showed me around. But, I'm thankful that there was something in my brain that remembered the feature of his house. Because if I hadn't, like, I was straight up thinking this kid was, after I put him in his house, I thought he was going to come outside, strip naked, and run through the streets and tell him who gave him the acid. That's what I was under the impression of. Like, 100%. Thought it was in cold, stone cold. That's what was happening. Anyway, back to the story. We're walking down the road, man, and we're halfway through the road. I'm looking around. I'm not seeing his house. And he stops, man. We're walking our bikes. He stops. So I stop. I'm like, what are you doing? And he looks left or right, looks behind him. He's like, we got to turn around, bro. And I said, hold your fucking roll there, buddy. Well, what do you mean turn around? Like, we're going the right way. I don't see the house yet, but I know we're going the right fucking way, dude. Like, we're not turning around. And he's like, no, bro, no, we got to turn around. And I'm like, dude, your house is this way. And this is, I don't know. I don't even want to say it's that. He denies this part, but I don't, like, add fibs to my fucking stories. Like, when I was this geeked, trust me, this shit would have not just, like, expressed on his face and came out without me seeing it. Like, acid don't make me trip that hard. He said this shit. He's like, bro, I need my daddy. He said my name, which I'm not going to say, but he said, bro, I need my daddy. And at that moment, I didn't, like, laugh at him. I got so fucking scared, dude. My fucking, like, my 15, 16-year-old homie, who's, like, a little bigger than me, like, could actually fight probably better than me and shit, like, a bigger human being is like, I need my daddy. And I'm like, oh my God, bro. Holy fuck. I don't say all that. I immediately, it was so, like, instinctively, I put my arm around this guy, and I said, bro, come the fuck on, bro. We're getting you to your house. Like, I kind of, like, I said it with a hard tone, too, because I'm like, bro, this is not happening. Like, he's about to spiral, and I've got to give him some kind of, like, platform, bro. Like, I can't let him fall. So I put my arm around him. I'm like, yo, come on, bro. We're going to get you to your fucking crib. And we walk maybe 15 more paces, dude. And I see these window shutters, like the shutters on the outside of the house for your windows. And they are fucking, like, blue as hell. They are blue as hell. I'm not tripping. I'm tripping, but they're extra blue. And I said, holy shit. Like, you just hit 10K on a fucking slot machine. That was his house, right? Like, money, money, money. So I walk him up. Like, we walk up the driveway. Thank God his dad wasn't there. And I look down at his fucking door handle, and he looks down at his door handle. He punches in. He had a doorknob with, like, a code on it. Some, like, sophisticated shit, right? Sophisticated shit. He punches in his little fucking keypad number mumbo jumbo, and he cracks the door open. And the relief hit me. I'm like, fuck, yes. And he looks down, right? He's at his door. I'm holding his, like, screen door open. He looks down at my hands, and he looks up at my face. And he goes, you're a real fella. And then he says my name, and I'm like, fuck yeah, bro. And I dab him up hard as shit, and I'm like, Sebastian, get your fucking ass in that house and do not come out, right? So I get on my bike. I'm fucking scared, bro. I am so scared. I could have been overreacting, but I'm tripping balls, bro. The homie forgot his house. He was about to turn around halfway through the street, and he needs his daddy. And I know he's not coming down for at least 5 hours. So I'm fucking tweaked. I'm turning back out his house, and I get on my bicycle, and I start biking down the road, dude. I guess the thoughts started getting to me, bro. They definitely did, because remember that pistol that we, handled that morning, or at least he did, and he showed to me, and where it was hidden and how to use it? The only thing I could think while I'm biking out of his neighborhood is hearing a fucking gunshot ring. It's just ring out, like a muffled gunshot from inside the house, because I thought, oh my God, like, I've read the stories. They think it's never going to end, so they end it, and and then that would be manslaughter on my end. I've heard all kinds of stories. So I'm biking out, right? And I'm thinking about all this shit, and before I know it, I'm fucking thrown up off the side of my bicycle, bro. While I'm biking, I take my fucking forearm, swipe it across my eyes super hard because they're so watery. I'm seeing quadruple vision. Wipe my eyes, get my last bit of puke out, pull up to this stop sign, and his street was right across from the high school. So there was a crosswalk and 4 lanes. 2 lanes going one way, 2 lanes going the other way. And there was a little bit of traffic at this point. Honestly, I was tripping so hard. It was like 1 car every 2 minutes. But I wasn't finna inch out onto the crosswalk and potentially get hit. I was just fucked up. So I sat there for a minute. I sat there for about 5 minutes, sweat rolling down my face. It's hot outside, bro. I'm ready to get home. What the fuck pulls up next to me at this crosswalk, man? I'm chilling. Like, you might think it's his dad. You might think it's Sebastian himself. Fuck no. I would prefer it to have been Sebastian, dude. It was a fucking cop, dude. Squad car pulls up right next to me. I see the front bumper. I see the fucking sirens on the top. Like, they're not activated, but they're there. I don't even look with my peripherals, bro. Like, I look peripherally. Like, I saw it. I didn't look left. I didn't look right, bro. Locked the fuck in. Top 10 lock-in moments ever, dude. Like, I just sat there on the bike, and this cop sat there for like 3 minutes, dude. I'm not even like wiping the sweat. I'm just letting that shit pour down my face. This cop leaves. So I sit at this crosswalk for, I'm not joking, probably another fucking 10 minutes. Felt longer, but I sit at this crosswalk for 10 minutes. I sat there for so long that a random car just like came up to the crosswalk and just like stopped. There was no other, it just stopped. Looked at me, and I was just like, all right, bro, I'm fucking tripping, but I need to make a decision right now. This guy stopped for a reason. Like, I'm not a potato. So I look at him and I give him like the largest, craziest fucking wave ever, like to establish that I'm there. And he kind of just keeps looking at me. So I bike across the street and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, fucking thank you, dude. So I'm gunning this shit home, bro. I am fucking gunning this shit home. I'm paranoid as fuck. The one thing that's in my head is like, dude, I gotta get home before the cops come and I gotta move this shit, bro. Like, I think I had 2 tabs left and maybe like an eighth of weed and like a gram of shrooms or some shit, bro. So I'm like, I kept it in this waterproof container. It was a fire container, like cool ass stickers on it. Just this cool ass little stash box, man. So I finally get home, dude. I don't even fucking, I usually bring my bike in on like the front porch railing or bring it inside at least or put it in the back. I just threw my shit down in the front yard, bro. Fuck the bike, fuck where it's going. I go inside, shut the door behind me. I don't think my dad had gotten off work by this time because dude, I'm sweating, panicking, full fucking tripping eyes. I go in, lock the door behind me, and I just scurry. I lived in the garage at this point, right? Pretty cool fucking setup. Like, some of the homies know the garage was the best garage setup ever, especially to live in. Like, it was the fucking spot, right? But I rush into my fucking garage room and I grab this box and I'm like, all right, dude, we got to get this the fuck out right now. Like, it's 30 bricks of cocaine is how it feels. Because, I mean, yo, the cops are about to be here, bro. Like, I just dropped Sebastian off. He's surely about to off himself and I'm about to get a manslaughter charge. Like, that's how this is going. Like, goodbye, cruel world. I tripped with the wrong person. I'm fucked. that's how it was all going down in my mind. So I grabbed this fucking waterproof box and I scurry out in the backyard and I'm looking like left to right like some animated cartoon shit. And I'm just fucking looking for somewhere to put this bitch. Like, I still want them if it doesn't go this bad, but you know, I don't want them to be like seen easily. So, you know, 10 out of 10 IQ play. There was I forgot what those mini oranges, somebody leave in the comment what they're called. They're like small orange, tangerines or something. I don't know. They're like mini oranges. They're small and they grow on this little tree kind of thing. But there was one of those planted in the backyard that the previous, you know, renters had left. So I'm like, fuck it, bro. Put it behind this pot. Like, who's going to check behind the mini orange tree plant for this box of drugs, bro? Either way, you know, a couple hours go by. I can't quite remember what I did. I don't think I smoked. I think I just like locked in on my fucking TV. So very paranoid, very, you know, bad on his end for how I felt. I did not like him after this point. He hit me up the next day, very next day, and was like, yo, you know, blunts, bro, what's going on, bro? How, you know, trying to chop it up, trying to smoke? And I said, dude, don't hit me up, bro. Like, you gonna act like that didn't happen? He's like, what are you talking about? I said, look, bro, I know I gave it to you, but you could have said no, and you didn't have to do that. Nobody forced you. So, you know, at the same time, I gave it to him, but if any of you have ever tripped on acid or anything like that and could imagine a story like this actually happening to you, you would know that the vibes are not right. I'm sure some of you have not done acid, so your emotions and everything that you feel and your thought patterns are all heightened during this time, along with visuals. So I was not in a good mindset to have to deal with all that, and I kind of took it out on him for a week. You know, I cut him off for a week essentially, but you know, anytime I wanted to smoke a blunt or chop it up or hang with somebody, he was the guy I would with. So, you know, to give you guys some closure, me and Sebastian did talk again. We did smoke some more blunts. You know, we chalked it up and told him he probably shouldn't do acid again for a while, or at least not the high dose stuff. Maybe stick to some shroomies. But I appreciate all you guys tapping in, watching the video. I was really excited to post this one. I might make a second video today, depending on how many views this one gets or engagement, but nonetheless, you can expect a video tomorrow. But I really appreciate all your support. Thanks for tapping in. Have a great day. Have a great day. My bad. Peace.